Hello guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Last time we did a little bit of science collecting, did a couple short missions to space, and did some testing on the launch pad. As you can see, I did a couple of things off camera, just launch a rocket straight up out into space and into outer space, and collected some science stuff out there and brought it just straight back. All I did was use the materials bay in outer space. So I didn't get much. But I got enough that'll let me actually do this one. Actually, I want to get this one first. I'm going to do this one because I want these fins and this inline reaction wheel for my MUN mission. After this MUN mission, I'll be able to have whatever the hell I want. Because this is going to get me a ton of science. And it's going to get me a ton of money as well. So, off camera, I decided to actually rebuild my rocket. Here we go. It's a very expensive rocket, and it's annoying as hell. But I have my rocket. I'm going to really quickly do that. I need to purchase this, and I will be putting one. Actually, I will be putting it up near the top, as it is a small one, as annoying as it is. But right there. This guy on top. There we go. I have some control of my ship now. And I said I wanted this. So, last time you saw me buy this, I'm actually not going to use it because it'll take about $2,000 off the price of my $2,000 plus off the price of my rocket. I don't think it's actually going to accomplish anything. But, I mean, let me check really quick. No, it cuts my drag in half on those, and it's just not really that worth it. So what did I need? Aerodynamics. These I do need, because this thing has horrible control. So I want them on each of these. And as you can see, I already have all my fuel lines set up. Have everything going. I have my stages set up. You can see it's actually kind of a funky little rocket section up here. But then I have just a bunch of boosters to hold it all together. I did not finish putting the struts in. That'll do. And that. Now that I'm very sure that my rocket will hold itself together, I almost forgot about these ones down here. And yes, having all these on here does make one heck of a huge difference. When I was trying to do this before, that is not in the right spot. Right there. And right there. There we go. Much better. Okay, so I have those. I'm going to put some on these ones as well. And then my rocket will be ready to go. And yes, having all these fins on here does make one hell of a difference. So, let's go to the moon! And I think I will be taking Jebediah. Oh, give me one more second so I set up my action groups. I almost never remember to do these. Shouldn't take me too long. Okay, there we go. I have my action groups set up. Crew, I will be taking Jebediah. Actually, no. I want to try to take Sanford. If it lets me. I don't know, it doesn't seem to like to let me. I am going to save this because I finally have everything the way it should be. Nothing is going to change. And I have tested this. This rocket will actually make it to the moon and land and make it back. So, let's try this. Actually, I just remembered. I went looking in the mission stuff, and I checked, and sure enough, that recurring mission that I told you about did show up again. So just before, yes, I do have Sanford in here. I'm going to say go to the Space Center really quick. That rocket will just sit there. It ain't going nowhere. So, I come over here. There it is. Science data from space around Kerbal. It's an easy $30,000 from 5 Science. Considering I already have the guy who's in space. I don't think I was going to get any more of these other ones. They still have this mainsail on an escape trajectory. I don't want to bother with that. Nothing else landed at Kerbal. In flight, in flight, in flight, in flight. Everything is in flight. I don't want to do anything in flight at the moment. Those are just too much of a pain in the ass. I'm sorry, those are just a real pain. So let's come get my quick science. See my guys still up here, a little Ronnie Kermit. Do a crew report and keep it. And let's destroy your. I'm gonna let you come around to the other side of the planet. And we will believe that is pointing you the right direction. We will turn that on. Kill your orbit off. There we go, that should do well enough. I may land on the land or I may land in the water. More than likely the water. But he's going to come back down, and after this mission, I will be putting him back out into space. He is going to stay up there for all eternity. No, I'm just kidding. He'll get some updated stuff every once in a while. I probably won't show that on camera, though. Just like I probably won't show this. I will bring you back when I start my launch from the launch pad. So, I shall see you shortly. Okay, we are back with Sanford Kerman at our moon rocket. That looks horrendous. But let's get this guy into space. So our first task is getting to orbit around Kerbal. Let the boosters do their job. So, when I designed this rocket, I've used a rocket like this before, and everything at this point was used in space, which is why they all have these the small engines. I can't remember what they're actually called. That'll come off. Let's start our gravity turn. I'll put it about there. Stop drifting. Need you to be an equatorial orbit. Once this next stage drops off, I need to check my apoapsis. There we go. Okay. I'm going to monitor the apoapsis. I just need to get to about 70 to 75 kilometers. And I do need to watch this. Climbing, climbing. I do have to watch for that stage. Should be pretty... doing really well on fuel. $45, $46, $7, $48, $49. And there goes that last stage there. Now this isn't going to climb very fast anymore, but I should have plenty to make it all the way out there. Now that number is wrong. That is very wrong. So now it's just showing all of my fuel. Oh. I need to be watching these ones. It's emptying out this one first. Wait, that one's empty. This one's going. I actually still have a lot of fuel left. Oh, let me turn this. I like having my apoapsis trying to keep it ahead of me when I'm climbing like this. I'll try to climb a little faster. Very soon I will be trying to just create my actual orbit. Okay, there we go. That number should get me out of the atmosphere at least. So now it's more of a matter of creating my orbit. Which, any second now, I should be breaking out of the atmosphere. There it is. And I'm not going anywhere because... fire! Okay, these engines should have no problem putting me into a stable orbit. Do need to rise a little bit, keep my AP in front of me. But as you can see, these engines don't burn a lot of fuel very quickly. So I should have no problem with this. Okay, I shall see you when I have a stable orbit. Okay, so we are back and we have a stable orbit. About between 78 and 84 kilometers. So now I just need to find the moon. There's the moon. I'm gonna say about here-ish. Zoom out a bit. Not that much. About there. Would you fire out? Not quite what I want. Let me see. Those seem kind of goofy. Oh, there we go. A periapse is under 10,000 meters. That's pretty darn low. Let's see if I can raise that just a little bit. There we go. That'll be good. So I have to burn for 1 minute. But I have about 3 minutes before I get there. I should have tons and tons of fuel for this flight. And now we start using time acceleration. And we shall successfully make it to the moon without a problem. Right. So let's see. Warp, warp, warp. Warp some more. Okay, so at about 32-ish, 35 seconds I want to fire. And I have to watch very carefully at my curve once it gets closer to being out there. Luckily, if I screw this up, it looks like it won't be sending me very far out of my way. I've had a couple of them where I missed the moon. It gave me a very poor encounter with the moon, and my guy wound up, ooh, is that actually doing what I think it's doing? Oh, nice. I'm gonna have a really good orbit. But I had one that I messed up my launch to the moon. Darn you. Oh, actually, I think, yep, carrying some dead weight. There we go, that should help. I was carrying dead weight. I missed my shot to the moon, gave me a bad encounter, and it slingshotted my guy, and he wound up with no fuel in a really wide orbit around the sun. So he had absolutely no chance of ever getting back. So hopefully I won't be doing that this time. Okay, and slow down the throttle. And there we go. I do not have a periapsis. That is not good. $132, that'll be okay. If it'll stop glitching. I guess I can't decide whether I'm going to have a moon encounter or not. We're just going to go with the idea that I am. Obviously, I'll be having some kind of encounter. Let's see what this does. And there we go. I am not as low as I want it, but it'll work. Just need to fire that just enough to close the orbit. I don't want to bring it actually in. Okay. There. That'll be good enough. 2.2 million meters from the moon. So let me line everything up for this. I shall accelerate. It's not going to be a very long burn. Stop. Okay, go back the other way a little bit. Now the hardest part of actually landing this thing on the moon is going to be firing the engines at the right time to slow my descent. Because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take my AP way up here and I'm just going to kill my entire orbit so I drop straight to the moon. Luckily this time I'll be dropping on the light side of the moon. Last time on my Tesla when I did this, I was landing on the dark side of the moon so I couldn't see anything. Don't want to overuse that. Okay. We are nearing my point. And fire. And it's going and going and going. And we're in. Hooray. Shall get rid of that. Now we have to wait until I get all the way out here. And as you can see, I can do that and essentially kill off my... Not that. Ah, there we go. Yeah, whatever. Estimated burn, 233 years. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to do that. Okay. I have my maneuver node in place. Let's accelerate time until I'm over there. Which, you'll notice I got a notification. One of the parameters was to get into orbit around the moon. I'm sorry. But I did achieve orbit around the moon. I got $13,000 and some science for it. Actually, I want to come back over here really quick. I believe I am going to have to come back and do this again. So I'm going to do 2 different sets of them, and I have the materials study up here. I know I did set these to action numbers, which you can see these are getting me a lot of science. High over the moon. That one I can actually do twice. Crew report. That I can actually transmit. Because I have a lot of electricity. I threw a bunch of batteries on here. As you can see, I threw 4 batteries. Now, Mr. Sunfred, I want you to not lose the rocket. Come on, grab back on. What are you doing? You do not know how to grab a frickin' rocket. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Let's try this a little bit slower this time. God dang you, Sunfred, you do not know how to grab on. Okay, I'm going to get your momentum to essentially stop for a second. Do your EVA report. Keep it. And now, see if I can get you back on board. You're on the wrong side of the rocket now. God damn it, Sanford. You're horrible at this. There we go, I got you back inside. That was way harder than it should have been. Okay, so let me see. Ah, there. That'll give me my marker that I need. So put myself in the right place. And this will essentially just kill my orbit so I fall in a straight line down to the moon. So let's get there. Okay, I'm almost there, and I will soon be dropping to the moon. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, got that just right. I'm actually going to do a slow burn to do this, because I don't want to overdo it, that I end up going the other direction. Then it's a real pain to try to fix everything. I think I can still... Whoa. There we go. I've got a darn near straight drop to the moon. So I'll be landing just outside of one of their craters. Not exactly where I'd want to land, but I'll make it work. So now, the descent. Where is our beautiful moon? There's the sun, so it should be there. Let's get myself positioned. There we go. Let's watch as we descend to the moon. That was way too fast. Watching all my numbers over here as they drop. So it looks like my landing location has very much changed. Which I'm glad for, because I did not want to be landing in that spot that it showed me at. I think I might be in a different... Nope, still higher than that. Okay, I'm at 400. I do want to be careful with my speed. I have a bad feeling that it screwed up my staging. It did. So I'm going to actually disable that engine, because it was using up all my fuel out of that one without using anything out of the other two. It did my staging backwards on those, obviously. That is not a good thing. Once I hit 100 kilometers. You shut up. Once I hit 100 kilometers, I will be trying to kill off my momentum. Otherwise, it's going to make it really hard to try to land. Okay, let's... After I do some quick sciencey stuff. $100. So I believe this puts me... No, I'm still high over the moon. Fire! This will slow my descent a little bit. I'm gonna extend all my landing gear. You can see it's slowing my descent quite a bit, which is good. I might actually end up having some extra fuel left over after all this is done. I'm gonna let it descend a little bit more. I'm waiting for it to say when I'm low over the moon. I don't trust Sonfred here to get a EVA from low over the moon, since he obviously couldn't do it. He took forever doing that with high over the moon. I don't think I trust him to get back in time, even though we're only going 300 meters per second. So it looks like I'm going to be landing on a nice, big, clear, plain area, which to me is a good thing. That means I'll have a very nice landing zone. Well, let me see. Ooh. I think it's under 50 that it becomes near to the moon. Yeah, slow my descent a little bit more. Get her down to 200. There we go. And there's our 50 mark. Yep, there we go. Let's transmit that. Let's attempt this, Mr. Sonfred. We'll just keep that. There you go. That's how you do it. Get back in nice and quick. Don't sit there and muddle about. Another goo observation. I could take another materials bay observation, but I'm saving that for when I land. I am going to have to come back again, and I will be coming back with a single science bay. That way I don't have the extra weight of a second one for something that I've already done. And as soon as I land, I will actually be leaving off this episode with the landing, because I am actually almost out of time. You heard my alarm go off over here. That was for something else, but I'm actually almost out of time before I have to go do something. Let's get under 150. There we go. One dangerous thing with the moon is you can actually never trust the altimeter to be completely accurate. So in trying to land on the moon, I will always go and try to keep myself at a very low speed once I get under 10 kilometers. I'll descend very, very slowly, but I will almost guarantee that I can land it safely. Okay. I'm at 10 kilometers. Get myself under 100. I think I want to be about 25. As slow as that's going to make me descend, it'll almost guarantee that I land instead of crash. I don't want to kill Sanford. Just trying to correct my landing. Oh, the texture of the moon is starting to load. We're almost there. Now, one thing you may have noticed is I actually did not put any ladders on my rocket. I'm not worried about that because here on the moon, I used this style of rocket before, and the Kerbal can actually jump using the gravity of the moon, or use his propellant pack to actually get back to the capsule. So you don't actually need a ladder. A ladder would be a good idea on some of the other planets such as Duna and Jewel, only because their gravity is actually too high for you to use the propellant pack to get back into your capsule. Okay. I think last time I was trying to land on the moon, my height was like 1300. But that looks like it's coming up much faster than 1300. So let's kill off my speed. Oh my god, this is so hard to control. See the ground coming up pretty quick, actually. I'm going to try to keep my speed about 10 meters per second now. That was too much, but I don't see a shadow anywhere. So, coming down to land. landed. And hooray, I have successfully landed my rocket on the moon. See the sun? I don't think I can see Kerbin at the moment. No, I cannot. It is not in my view. Must be on the other side of the moon from me. Yes it is. But there we go, I have successfully landed on the moon. That gave me a couple of things. I've collected science and money. So I landed on the moon. Transmit, recover science data from around the moon, from space around the moon. I got a bunch for that. So I shall collect my quick stuff here. And then I will be leaving to go do my other stuff, and I will finish this at some point. Let's see, EVA report. Just above the moon's midlands. That's oh, that's the same frickin' EVA report. Okay. Let's get you back safe. Go away! I don't want you on. Surface sample from the moon is 108 science. Do my landed EVA report. Search the sky for Kerbin. Suddenly you feel very small. Let's let's plant a flag. This is our very first landing on the moon. And I landed at year 1, day 4 at roughly 5:28. Sondred Kerman lands on the moon for the first time in Kerbal history. There we go. Hooray! I have a flag on the moon. Okay, now let's get him back in the rocket. Board, and there we go. But I have to go, so I will be cutting this episode off here, and next time I shall be doing the journey back to Kerbin. So until next time, guys.